Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to Hera English School online teaching standard 10th. Today inshallah in English subject we are going to see the poem 4.4. It is a very humorous poem, The Height of the Ridiculous. Now ridiculous means too funny to believe. I wrote some lines once on a time in wondrous merry mood. Wondrous means a delightful mood. And thought as usual man would say they were exceeding good. Now this poet says that in a happy mood I had written very good lines of poems and then I thought that they were excellent. They were so queer, so very queer. Queer means very strange. I laughed as I would die. Albeit in the journal way. So he said that he started laughing after listening again to those lines. Now, albeit in a general way, a sober man am I. He said that I am a very sober man. I am a man with a very less times laughing. I am always serious and not very much kidding or joking all the time. I called my servant and he came. How kind it was of him. Now he called to his servant and the servant was very kind according to this poet. To mind a slender man like me, he was of the mighty limbs. Now he said, actually my physics is very slim. I am a slim person. I am a very thin person, not very strong physically, well-built body. Okay. Now he says the servant was of the might limb. That means the servant was very healthy, physically well-built. These to the printer I exclaimed. That means he instructed to the servant that you go to the printer and print this poem. I exclaimed. And in my humorous way I added as a trifling jest. Trifling jest means a small simple joke of no importance. There will be the devil to pay. He said that the devil will pay the money for it. Just a little joke kind of thing he told to his servant. He took the paper and I watched. Now the servant was taking away the paper to the printer. In the meanwhile, while going time, the servant just peeped within and saw him peep within. That means he just saw at a glance at those lines which were written in the paper. At the first line he read, his face was all upon the grin. That means he started smiling. He read the next, the grin grew broad and shot from ear to ear. That means he started having spread his lips till the ear because it was very funny thing which was written there. He read the third, a chuckling noise. That means chuckling noise means a kind of a noise which is produced when we are laughing. I now began to hear. Now the voice of laughing was being heard by the poet. Who was laughing? It was the servant who was laughing after reading those lines. The fourth he broke into a roar. That means he started laughing very loudly. The fifth, his waistband split. That means the belt which he was wearing on the pant, it got broken because he was laughing so much that the movements, physical movements were been happening because of that laughter, and because of that the movement of the stomach, his belt, the waist belt broke. The sixth, he burst 5 buttons. Now the buttons of his shirt started breaking off because it was a tremendous action which he was, the movement he was doing, and that made the buttons burst out and tumbled into a fit. Now he was tumbling into a fit because of this kind of situation. See, that means the lines were so much funny that he was not able to control his laughter, and accordingly, from the first line till the fifth and the sixth line, he started in a climate it was a climax that all his buttons also broke out because of such kind of actions which he was doing after reading those lines. 10 days and nights with sleepless eyes. Now, for 10 days, after that, he was not able to sleep. Who? The servant. This is an exaggeration. We cannot believe these kind of lines, but they are just to exaggerate the things. That's why the name of the poem is The Height of Ridiculous. Ridiculous here means too funny to believe. Okay? So it's a height, is an exaggeration of the things which are being made by the poet. 10 days and nights with sleepless eyes. So for 10 days and night he was not able to sleep. Who? The servant. After hearing those lines, I watched that rich man. So he watched that rich man. What is being watched? A helpless condition of that person. Who was that person? The helpless condition of the servant. Why this kind of condition happened to him? Because he was laughing a lot. Why that servant was laughing? Because he had read those lines which were written by the poet. Okay? I watched that rich man. Now, the poet says, I watched that rich man. Rich here means a helpless condition of that person. Who? That is the servant. And since I never dare to write. Now, after seeing the condition of the servant, he was so much in a tense mood that because I have written lines that were very humorous and people started laughing, there was a reaction from the servant, and that was very dangerous. So from there he thought that if just by reading one person is having such kind of condition, the others, if they read those lines, maybe many will be hospitalized. They will be in a severe condition if they read such lines. So from that onward, the poet stopped writing. I never dare to write. So he says, he is declaring that I am not now daring to write. I don't have courage to write, because if I write again, it will be the similar situation of those people who will read such kind of poem. So he stopped writing such kind of lines. And the last line we are going to see now is as funny as I can. So he is telling that such kind of funny poems I have stopped writing, because if I write funny poems, people laugh too much and that laughter caused them a severe injury or kind of a pain, and they are in a troublesome situation. So this poem ends here. It is a kind of a unbelievable poem just for the entertainment of the people. It has been written by Oliver Wendell Holmes. He was born in the year 1809 and died in the year 1894. So students, please read it again, and if you have any query you can call me. Okay, so here we end this poem. Thank you. Jazakallah.